Hello, you're joining me in a very different part of South Wales today. We are parked at Melanchor Falls. So it's in Resolven, in the Neath Valley somewhere. And we're walking a hill I've never done before, paths I've never been on, just a route I've designed on OS Maps to do a brand new large hill, which I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. But it's 481 metres, it's about a 15-mile walk. And I'm just hoping the route I've plotted is going to be, it's going to exist basically. I reckon it should do, because a lot of it looks like to be forest trails up to the sort of top of the ridgeway. And then it's a Sarn Helen Roman road along the top, taking a couple of the trig points, and the highest point of 481 metres. Then we'll keep going and return back along the Neath Canal, back to the car, and hopefully see the waterfalls, but the Google Maps says it's currently closed, but we'll find out what that means when we get back to the car. It does feel really good to be on new paths, places I've never been before, and this part of Wales I've kind of walked east of here a little bit and possibly sort of northeast as well, but I've never walked really here or anywhere west of here, so the views from the summit should be really nice, new views. And looking back east and possibly northeast, I should see some new perspectives on places and hills I've walked before. So I've done a lot of familiar hills to me recently, done a lot of familiar trails, completing the Buzzard Way and stitching all of those together, walking quite a few footpaths I've done before. So it's really nice to be somewhere new. I'm just going to record the walk, try and get some nice views, some nice locations. Ow, as I get stabbed. So yeah, hopefully it'll be a good walk, and as usual, the full route on my website, thewalkingkev.co.uk, and it is free and plentiful parking at Melanchor Falls as well. We have parked at the bottom of the valley, so it should be a reasonable amount of ascent to get to the top of the ridgeway, and then I think things are going to get a bit more gentle and a nice long ridgeway walk. It does look quite narrow and craggy in places, so hopefully be really good views from once we're up there. It is quite a heavily forested area, so we should be able to stay out of the sun for lots of it, but I don't know if that's going to restrict the views a huge amount or not. But that's what this kind of walk is all about: plotting a route on OS Maps, and then coming out and exploring a brand new area. So we're going to crack on with it now. Going to stop banging on, and let's hopefully enjoy a nice walk. Just over 2 miles in now, we're still ascending. We're actually on the St Illtyd's walk, and the last section was a bit overgrown. Lots of brambles, my legs have really suffered again, covered in scratches, and they're bleeding a fair bit now. Yeah, not massively overgrown, but just the big long brambles, and so many of them it was hard with just my solitary tripod to kind of bash them out of the way or hold them out of the way and still get through without getting scratched everywhere. So I'm hoping now the path's going to open up a bit, and then when we get to the top it should be nice open ridgeway walking, and we'll be able to pick up the pace on the Roman road. So yeah, there were some nice views when it did open up, but we're in pretty sheltered woodland against now, which is quite nice because it's pretty muggy and warm today, so a little bit of a breeze up here and a bit of shade in the trees. So hopefully this path will take us directly to the Roman road, and we'll be on the straight and easy paths then. Took a little detour off the beaten track to find this little trig point. Glad I did. Love the location, very, very still with a sun trap. And actually a little patch of grass where you could pitch a tent. Be a very, very, very isolated and peaceful pitch, because I can't imagine any people visiting here. There was a tiny little path you could just follow up to the trig point. Not well visited, not well walked, but yeah, glad to took this little detour. So I have found the main path, which I think is the Roman road, the Sarn Helen Roman road. So that should now be quite nice. This is about 360 metres, I think, so we'll drop back down to the little path now. So there's only about 130 metres of ascent all the way up to the top of the hill now, and I think that's a good few miles away. I mean, we've done less than 3 miles. It's been a bit of a slog getting up to this first sort of point of interest, but yeah, really, really hot now. Glad I'm wearing the hat, because out of the shade now it's going to be quite a oppressive day for hiking. I've got plenty of water and drinks and stuff. I mean, that's all I've really got is just a couple of snacks and mainly just a bag full of liquids. So yeah, glad I visited a little trig point. I always say when you're out walking, if it's not too far away, you may as well tick it off, because you never know. You may never ever come back to this part of the world again. I may never want to do this hill again, may never be in this place, so you may as well tick it off whilst you're here. So we found the second and final trig point on the walk, 481 metres. It's hidden away in the trees, but it wasn't too bad to find. It's only very, very closely off the main path past here. Been an interesting walk. It's been really quite wet. In winter this route must have been an absolute nightmare, because it's been pretty dry recently. There's been a few bits of rain, but nothing substantial, but there's lots of bits where unpassable to walk around. Really deep flooded path. Seen quite a few off-road vehicles, 2 convoys of 4 green laners heading up the Sarn Helen Roman road, so that was unexpected, but it's a great route to drive if you've got one of those vehicles, really out in the sticks. Occasional views opening up to the Black Mountain and beyond, so yeah, really nice walk so far. Definitely a bit more challenging terrain than I was expecting, but the road seems to be pretty good now, so we're going to keep following on and then look to cut right back down to the canal. So we're at the highest point at the moment, so we're going to get a lot of descent cutting down in a minute. well, I've hit a dead end. Footpath completely disappears. There's no way around it. I didn't want to go all the way back, so I tried to carry on, and I've just ripped my legs to shreds, really bleeding badly. So I'm trying to come a long way around now on some tracks. It's all private land, quarry. It's really frustrating when footpaths just disappear, because I'm in a lot of pain. I'm really bleeding quite badly from my legs. It's just, and it makes me just want to go on a rampage on this private property, because I don't want to be wandering around your private property looking for a way out. I wanted to be following the footpath and getting back to where I want to go. I don't want to be stuck here, covered in scratches and in a lot of pain because you don't maintain the public right of way. So, I don't know, the main track up the hill is private property, but it seems to go roughly in the direction I want to be going in. But there is a track here with dirt bike tracks going down there, and that is the direction I want to be going in. So I'm going to try and follow the dirt bike trail for a little while and see if that gets me back to the footpath and back to where I want to be going. Well, back in the car now. It was a really good walk, but that one section did add a bit of mileage to it. So 17 miles in total. That includes me messing about walking back and forth to the camera, but also includes me getting completely stuck in that one section and completely savaging my legs. But apart from that, there were some really good stretches to that walk. The top of the ridgeway was really nice. A lot more puddles than I was expecting. There was a lot of sections you had to really walk around and stuff, and you can see why it was a good place for green laners to use, because yeah, really good for that. I don't know if I'll ever return to this hill. I'm glad I've done it. It's first new hill for a long time in South Wales, so it's been on my to-do list for a while. I knew it was going to be quite a long walk because of how sort of remote it was, but yeah, no, it was a good walk. I'd recommend the Ridgeway certainly, but on the website I'll put a different route back down to the car. The waterfall was completely closed because of the path erosion, but the Neath Canal was a pretty pleasant stretch, very flat, very easy. Canal completely knackered and overgrown, but quite a good place for wildlife. Saw loads of dragonflies today as well. But yeah, the route will be on the website, and obviously the route will be adapted to avoid getting yourself mangled like I did. And apart from that one section, it was pretty decent really. Like I said, there's a bit of brambles on one of the sections up the start of the hill, but that is a named footpath, so it's a shame that that's a bit overgrown. But it is the worst time of year to walk those kind of footpaths in terms of growth and stuff, because everything is just really overgrown this time of year, especially with the brambles shooting out across even quite wide lanes, still get covered in brambles. Anyway, I'm going to go home, have a nice shower, and then put some Savlon or whatever, or Sudocrem on my scars on my legs, and hopefully they'll recover in a couple of days' time. Anyway, if you made it to the end of the video, a huge thanks as always for watching, and hopefully I will catch you in the next one.